Scorpio friends, single Scorpio friends. We're going to do our 4 pillars singles reading. This is for the first half of March
Hola
2020.
amigos.
And this is the 4 pillars are your emotional, your intellectual, your sexual, and your lifestyle compatibility. And what we're going to be trying to do with this reading is find the one that's for you, not your next mistake, not your next problem, but the one that the universe wants you to be with for your highest good, be really their highest good too, is how it works. And you want to do this one? And see what we get. So what we do is we'll pretend like we're sitting down on a date together. And we're going to try to identify your person. We'll get some astrology, hopefully, if you're into that. I hope you are. And then whatever else we can find. It'll help you actually identify them. So if you're sitting across from them on date, you'll kind of know whether or not this is the person Tarot Miyamorto was talking about. I want it to be pretty obvious. Ooh, nice. Let me move this over a little. Let's see behind that pole. Wow. So, we've got on the bottom of the deck the Knight of Pentacles. Not way so much the bottom in this reading. It's kind of like the heart spread because there's a lot here, by more than it looks like. So, emotionally, good. It makes more sense. We could be dealing with a Gemini moon here, Gemini Venus, emotionally, with that 3 of Cups energy. Kind of how I see that. It could also be Libra energy in there, emotionally. But I would say that would stand out with this person is, in terms of emotion, is they're exuberant and open and what's the word I'm looking for? Effervescent, bubbly, effervescent. So this could be real obvious. Man or woman, they're not necessarily wear their emotions on the sleeve, because then you've got the 7 of Wands coming in. But here, that could just be some passion too. And so this is someone that I think you're going to know, because they're capable of being they're really outgoing and fun and effervescent and exuberant. But at the turn of a dime, they might get defensive. So you might see that come over them, where you would see it on their face, they'd just be kind of so happy and just relaxed and everyone's friend, and then suddenly a little darkness comes there, because you go back to what was just said. Maybe they can easily take offense, emotionally, and so also with this emotionally, it could be someone that's a little too open, and then they end up finding they have to draw boundaries. Because I see the 7 of Wands a lot as boundaries. People drawing boundaries when you talk about relationships, when you talk about emotions. So, this would be you share too much too fast, and then what happens? I'm just wow, I'm really depressed. I'm always depressed. I'm a loser. And then after a few minutes, the person says, "Well, wow, you really are a loser." 7 of Swords. What are you gonna be a loser for?
I was thinking a person that to like to have fun and go to the parties, but like you say, have boundaries, no? Yeah. So he's all the time respectful in himself and the other people.
That'd be a little different. No? So someone who just, that 7 of Wands just representing good, healthy boundaries. So, but yeah. I think you'll see some kind of story along those lines in terms of emotions, and get a feeling from what I'm saying emotionally that it's them. And then intellectually, it's the Virgo card. So, and then the 4 of Swords. And also we could be looking at Virgo energy. But so Virgo's like paying attention to details and actually very intelligent, being practically intelligent. But with the Four of Swords, kind of a little bit like the last one, they may have had difficulty getting started intellectually, and they needed some healing. They could tell you a story, but maybe they were a little kid. They had trouble.
Maybe they don't finish the university,
or they had dyslexia. Like they would tell you, this kind of thing you could ask and steer the conversation. You don't want to say, "Did you have dyslexia?" Because this tarot reader said maybe you would. But you could find that kind of thing out, or something else that I knew someone who had severe problems with ear infections, and it kept them out of school for a long time, kind of set them back.
So the virus now, he cannot study now, or don't have the possibility.
Yeah.
Or they close the school. No.
Yeah, that would definitely be how it would play right now. But what happened was they went inside, so the hermit, so they went through some process. It could be homeschooling. This could be a self-process where they had to really make an effort to learn. It really sounds like dyslexia because, and also with the hermit, maybe they had to learn their way. So if you ask them, this is someone, they have to learn their way. And it's a process for them that might involve like it being internal, meaning what? Meaning like they're listening to information and they need a minute to go inside and process the information. So because maybe they have an issue like this, and so they might not come back real fast with, like you might go back and forth real fast. You might see them take a minute, take a tick to kind of think it through, which is kind of like a Virgo thing too. Like Virgos are going to really think it through and make sure before they say anything that their ducks are in a row, their facts are there. But I mean, this would be a process that would just take a few seconds. You just see it's almost like I'm seeing this in both ways, like emotionally, where their face suddenly changes from lit to a little dark. And it could just be a second, like a little scowl. But if you're watching, you might pick it up. And this here too, like intellectually, like what do you think of the COVID and the way it's being? And rather than immediately jump into it, there's a little tick where they're kind of thinking about what they want to say and how they want to say it. And this may come from because it was challenging for them to learn. Maybe it might be even a little bit insecure about their own intellect or something. Although I don't see there's anything wrong with it. It just was difficult for them to get to that place. And then, with the Two of Cups and the High Priestess here in the sexual position, I'll show you these. Very feminine energy, so sexually
sexually looks very good, that card.
It looks very good, I'd say, yeah. But it would be, we'll look at the astrology here. This would again be a water. The High Priest, not strictly water, but you see water here in both of these. And definitely with the cups, this is going to probably be a Venus in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You can get to their astrology. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Or Mars, that way, for sure. And with the High Priestess, I'll tell you something about them sexually, okay? I think I can give you advice. When you make love, they don't mind hearing "I love you" early, or you could just say I love the way your breasts are, I love the way your arms are, I love your eyes. But when they're making love, they're going to be in their head fantasizing. So it's almost like you might want to be quiet and let them engage in their inner fantasy when you're making love to them. But it's going to be very good. And with the Two of Cups there, I think they're the kind of person who they're going to really, they're not selfish in bed. They're very generous in bed and very sensual and kind of soft in the way they make love. It's not going to be someone that's going to if that's what you want. They're not going to be someone that's going to throw you down and take you violently. Likely, they're going to have a softer approach. I don't think you're going to mind it. And then when we're looking at the lifestyle, so we got the Page of Wands
and the
Queen of Cups. With the lifestyle, I think this is kind of like Dave. It's kind of like they're kind of like what do you call it? Like very different. Here, there's a lot of difference between the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups. But I love this reading. We have to put it into the pillars.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about lifestyle, a Page of Wands, it's going to be someone younger. I mean, they're going to want to exercise and maybe spend some time outdoors. There is someone that has a youthful outlook, so they're not going to want to just do nothing and hang around the house. They're going to want to get out and do something, go to the market, go on the weekend for an Airbnb to the lake or the mountains or the ocean
beach.
or the beach. And they're going to be someone who's generous, not in a bad way. But so if they're in a relationship, for instance, and it's kind of like the way they are sexually, come to think of it, they're very similar sexually how they are with this lifestyle, in that they're very giving. So they're always going to be thinking of, like, in terms of lifestyle, where you live. They're not going to say, look, I want to live here, so screw you. They're going to be like, well, what do you like? And let's come to some agreement, some balance. Because I think they're going to be pretty generous in how they approach your lifestyle, and kind of respectful. They're going to need a little space. I think that may be how that is. And that could just be, they're going to go out running for an hour in the morning by themselves, or bicycling, or go golfing on the weekend, or whatever it is, or go do yoga class in the morning. And maybe they want to do that by themselves, But with the Queen of Cups overall, they're going to be someone who's very open and generous and receptive to your lifestyle needs, probably in every way. If you want to grill in the backyard and they don't really love grilling, they'll get you a grill.
Okay.
That kind of energy. So, Scorpio singles, thank you.
Thank you. Follow us in Tarot Mi Amor.
Follow, like, share. Really helps. Appreciate it.
Follow.
Love to hear from you.